So all the way from a Vietnamese refugee in the USA to California, we are going to dive into the journey how to turn a difficult situation in a person's life into more of a productive stage, and how to understand the situation and how to turn it into a profit. Nook, could you please introduce yourself and what do you do for business?
Hi, I'm Ngoc, and I'm from the California, San Francisco Bay Area. I am a certified public accountant for 23 years, and I am a financial health strategist. So what I do for business is I love inspiring women like myself, entrepreneur, to create multiple streams of income and understanding their money and where the money mindset is limiting to ourselves, and how we can transform any situation we have to create a better life for ourselves through multiple streams of income.
So could we start the story from the beginning? Like what happened after you came from Vietnam to the USA?
Sure. I came to the US in 1979 as a refugee with my family, with 7 kids in our house. And we grew up poor in the Bay Area. My dad wasn't a responsible father, but my mom was amazing. She raised 8 kids. My parents divorced when I was 16. So I realized at the age of 18, I had 7 jobs, understanding those values of hard work, right? And money mindset and the value of money. So at a young age, I already had that instilled in me because I've had all these different jobs helping my mom and raise my younger siblings. And throughout my career, I put myself through college. I worked full time, went to school full time, and I had a degree in accounting and finance. And I came out and I was working a corporate job, but I always had that burning desire to create multiple streams of income. So I had multiple jobs working full time and also side business on the side, like a jewelry business I started. I started also a tea business. And then my partner and I, my husband and I at the time, we started an outsourced business in the Philippines. I always had a side business. And then 4 years ago, my marriage fell apart with me not realizing that there was a problem. And from when it fell apart, it was heartbreaking because I didn't realize there was a problem. People have differences, but you don't understand that there's the need of the other person that you're not meeting, and vice versa. And so after our marriage fell apart, I had to pick up the pieces. And I was raising my son. My ex-husband left, and so I was a single mom, and picked up the pieces and rebuilt my wealth. And in 4 years, I have doubled my net worth. And I know that as a single mom, it's difficult, but you can do it. You just have to have your desire to do it and desire to create something better. And so what I do is I teach people how to understand their money and how to get rid of debt and how to plan for retirement so that they will take care of themselves and their family.
And where do the butterflies behind your back fit into your story?
Well, the butterfly to me is the symbolism of transformation, right? The cocoon, that when we are in a relationship, we forget ourselves. We forget that we compromise a lot of our values, compromise a lot of who we are. And, and when I came out of the divorce, looking back, I realized that I gave up a lot of my power of who I was. I was this powerful woman who always had a side business, who had a full-time job, who takes care of the house. And I felt like I wasn't good enough, but then going through that divorce, I realized, no, I'm good enough and I'm amazing because I can do all these things. I can create businesses. I can create a house. I can take care of my household. And that transformation is a symbolism for me of what I went through. And it's a reminder for me of where I'm going, in my life.
And so let me ask you this, like, what was what exactly inspired you that you have this mentality to succeed? Like
I think
why didn't you give up at the darkest moment?
I think it's because of my upbringing, coming to the U.S. as a refugee, being poor. It's the mindset that you know what you have and you're grateful for what you have, right? And you don't take it for granted. And so for me, that was instilled in me as a young age, working like 7 jobs before I was 18 years old. I knew I had to work. I knew that I didn't want to be poor. I knew that I wanted to create a better life for myself and my son. And I want to create a better future and create the life that I want. So, definitely there was a lot of healing from inside and recognizing a lot of the marriage that was wrong, but realizing that no, there is a blessing in disguise from, a divorce. There is something that you can create on your own that, you have to take control of it, right? You just can't blame other people. You have to own what you have gone through and then just move on from it and heal and create something better.
Wow, that is awesome. So my first question here is, what do you teach people about financial literacy? What do you mean by that?
Well, a lot of the problems that we have now is we get into debt, and there's all kinds of debt. We don't realize credit card debt, student loan debt, a mortgage debt. That is a debt. I mean, even though it's a house and an investment, but you're carrying a debt on your financials, right? And so when you're carrying these debt, you're paying interest to a bank. You're paying interest to people that you could be using it to create a source of income or create a better investment for yourself and your future, right? And our country, the US, we have $4.2 trillion in consumer debt. It's a lot of money, 4.2 trillion, $1.7 trillion in student loan, $1.2 trillion in car loans. So imagine the numbers, right? The numbers of those massive, and the way the US is, we're printing money. It's like the numbers doesn't make sense, right? And debt is stress. It kills us. It creates marriage problems. It creates relationship problem. It causes our health to be impaired. So for me, we need to look at our debt first before we even create any income.
And what kind of money mindset do you preach?
Well, mindset comes from what we were told at a young age, right? It comes from saying, okay, well, money doesn't grow on tree. Come from, you shouldn't, you have to work harder, right? You have to keep working on the corporate job that you don't love, right? And not pursuing your passion. So these are the things that we need to first change. What is the underlying core value we were told about money? And once we understand those limiting beliefs that we were told about money, we can visualize what you want. And that's the transformation that I went through, is I start visualizing and realizing, okay, I'm working too hard. How do I create multiple streams of income so that I can transition from my corporate job to creating something that I want, that I love, instead of working at a corporate job that is only giving me 4% increase in salary each year, a limited bonus, and dealing with a lot of politics. So for me, if I can break away from that, being an entrepreneur, being on my own person, using my creative side that was hidden, that no one knows, that I've always had this creative side, this ability to create businesses. That's what I love. That's the ability to be changing that mindset. And when I change my mindset, the opportunities are limitless.
Sure. And what do you think about what do you want to say about debt elimination?
So the way to eliminate debt is to really understand what is important to you, right? Do you want the financial freedom? Or do you want to keep carrying that credit card debt? Do you want to keep carrying that mortgage debt? And if you make strategic moves, right, at paying it at a certain time, using a program to guide you in making decisions, each time you buy a house, make the decisions of, should I do that or not? Is this the right time for me to carry that debt? Right? If it's not the right time, don't do it. Is it a need or is it a want? Right? If it's a need, yes, I need it. It's for my livelihood, for me to live. But if it's a want, do I want that other car? Right? Do I want that Lamborghini that's going to cause me to be in huge debt? Right? Or do I say, okay, well, maybe it's not the right time now. I should put that on hold and let's take care of all the ones that all the needs I have before I can think of that want. right? That's where a lot of us get in trouble, is no matter how much money we make, we end up spending more money. We're not really saving, and we're not saving smartly, right? We're just like, okay, I'm going to buy it because I want it, not because I need it.
Yeah. And what is credit repay?
What is credit repay?
Yeah, repay.
Means that you pay it as, so let's say you have credit interest, right? That's 18%, right? And you have in your loan, in your credit, your bank statement, your savings account gives you 0.01%. And you have $10,000 in your 0.01%, and you're paying 18%. Which one should you be paying? Where should you put it? Should you start paying off that credit card that's 18%, because you're not making money in that 0.01%. It makes no sense. But you need to make sure that you have some money that's an emergency fund put aside. But any extra money that's not working, take that money and pay back your credit card, pay back your mortgage, right? Pay back things that cost a lot of interest to you, right? You're not making money by 0.01%. The bank's not giving you money. That's how the bank is making money. They're using your money and charging you to use your money. So why are you putting 0.01%, not making money? Just pay off the debt so you'll feel free.
Right. So my other question here, like how to build credit.
So to build credit, you need to make sure you have a credit card that you pay back on time. Credit card is not meant to be carrying a balance, right? Credit card is supposed to be revolving. It's supposed to be temporary credit. So temporary credit means use it, pay it back. Use it, pay it back. Simple concept. Don't use it and carry a balance. You carry balance unless the balance you're carrying is giving you a way of doing business, right? It makes sense if let's say, if a credit card company is giving me money to do my business, does it make sense? Yes, because making that money payment to the credit card will allow me to have the extra money to build my business, that I'm generating revenue, right? So if you're generating revenue from what you're borrowing, and that revenue is more than what you're borrowing, makes sense. But if it's not, then why are you carrying that balance?
Yeah, right.
Is that common sense?
It is more than common sense. And how to plan for retirement?
There's different ways to plan for retirement. We plan for retirement, a lot of us are taught to put money savings aside, right? And we're putting savings aside in these IRAs and these 401k. These IRAs and 401ks are deferred taxes. They're not taxed later, right? So we need to think of ways of being tax-free. That means that don't get taxed at all. Isn't that a better option? Planning ways that you can get not taxed at all. And there are strategies that you can do and put in certain kind of account, life insurance account, that is tax-free, because that's what a lot of rich people do. That's a lot of banks do. They invest in life insurance policies that give them tax-free earnings that are indexed to the market, that has no limit. A lot of us don't realize that these options are available for us, because why? We're not rich, so no one reaches out to us to teach us about money. No one reaches out to us to teach us about life insurance, right? There are different types of insurance. Keep in mind, it's not all the same. So make sure when you're going to life insurance that you find someone who understands life insurance, and that you're not throwing your money away just to throw money away. That it gives you some sort of living benefits, that gives you an earning cash value potential, right? That it doesn't expire. So you have to find an IUL that will allow to give you all that feature, and that you also have a benefit at the end, and not just throwing money in term insurance. Does it make sense?
Yeah, right. Okay, my other question here is about diversifying the sources of income. It has been like a main thing for you all through your life. What do you say about it?
Well, this whole COVID is a wake-up call for a lot of people. And why is it a wake-up call? Is because we have one job, W-2. We're a W-2 earner. What does that mean when we're a W-2 earner? We, first of all, are not taking advantage of the tax that's allowed for business owner, all the deductions that you can get as a business owner. First. Second, now because of the COVID, people are being laid off. They have no backup plan. They don't have another stream of income, right? The people who have multiple streams of income, no matter how small, but they have different sources of income that allows them to mitigate being laid off. They have other streams of income that comes in, right? So that's the mindset that people have to shift. Find a business or find multiple business that brings you joy, that whatever it is that you want to do, that makes you happy, that you're contributing to society, whatever it is that you do, that gives you another source of income, so that if one doesn't work, the other one works. If one's slow, the other's fast, right? So that's the secret, is that we have to look at sources of income to allow us to have backup of a backup of a backup. That is a mentality that we need to all think about, having multiple backups of our life so that we can build what we need to build, so that we can walk away from that job that ties us down, that doesn't give us any joy, right?
Right. It has been more than amazing to continue Ngoc today. Thank you so much for that indeed. And thank you for the lovely butterflies always flying around you.
Yes, thank you. I hope, I'm so amazed that you connected with me. And this is, you from Cairo, me from the US. How is this possible unless it's the internet virtual reality, right? It's amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you.